update or to talk about his candidacy for state treasurer. So, Yi?
Hello, everyone. My name is Leng, and I'm running for Wisconsin State Treasurer. First and foremost, I just want to say a big thank you to Joelle, and I was going to call her Jolene, it's kind of as a joke, but I'm running for Wisconsin State Treasurer, and let's be very, very honest here. A lot of people don't know what exactly the state treasurer does, and I think that's honestly part of the problem. But I'm running for Wisconsin State Treasurer because that position has true responsibilities. And I say that because in 2018, when the Republican legislature attempted to abolish these positions, Wisconsinites came out in droves and voted to ensure that this position stayed in place. They wanted somebody that was not accountable to the governor, that's not accountable to Wisconsin legislature. They wanted someone that's going to be accountable to you as Wisconsinites, to be that independent fiscal watchdog. The state treasurer is responsible for overseeing $1.6 billion in school trust funds. That's money that could come back to our schools, to our libraries. That's money that could come back to helping building fire departments, purchasing fire trucks, police vehicles, protecting our community, ensuring that our students have the resources they need to be successful. In addition, that position is also responsible for returning unclaimed monies back to you as Wisconsinites. Right now, there's $950 million that's just sitting there at this moment here that has not been claimed. That's money that should be in your pockets and helping you achieve your American dream. Now, a little bit about me before I talk about why I am the most qualified candidate for this position. I'm a Wisconsinite, longtime Democrat. I was helping the Democrats get elected up and down the ballot at the age of 17. I ran for office at the age of 18, was elected to the DC School Board, elected to the Marathon County Board in 2016, and then I was elected to the Village of Weston Board in 2018. I ran for the 85th Assembly in 2024, came very close into winning. The people were not expecting us to have a turnout, but we brought out a group of individuals that had not been active, and that was the Hmong and AAPI vote. They did not come out and vote often, but we were able to bring them in droves, and we broke the Democratic record in the local area when we went out to the Labor Day parade. We had over almost 100 people participate in the walk in Wausau, of all places. Now, I didn't come here or come to being able to do this on my own. I was able to do it because of my parents. My parents are refugees. They came to America here to escape communism and persecution. When my dad made the decision to leave Laos, they left the village and they dropped everything behind. Within the first night, my aunt stepped on a landmine and was killed. My parents went on, they spent the next 2 weeks living in the jungle of Laos, living off roots and mud water. And eventually they got towards the end, their destination was the Mekong River to cross to go into Thailand. There was one obstacle left, and that was a communist outpost. The group leaders turned to my parents and told them, you need to make sure that your kids are quiet. My oldest brother was 6 months at that time. But the problem was he had a fever and he was crying. So they gave my parents an ultimatum: give him opium or be left behind. They gave my brother opium and he didn't make it. They buried him the shores of the Mekong, and my parents crossed that Mekong River and came to the United States. They taught me that freedom isn't free, that service above self is more important than anything. My dad went on to become a union worker, and despite the fact that he couldn't speak English, he stood with his brothers and sisters and protested in the early 2000s. My mom was a seamstress, and she did what she knew best, which was sewing. She kept our family together, and we weren't rich. We lived paycheck to paycheck, but we knew that despite the fact we had struggles, we wanted to give back. That became the core value of my existence. That's why I dedicated my life to service, serving in elected positions role, and working in nonprofit. When I came on as the executive director of the Hmong American Center in 2016 at the age of 21, nobody told me the organization was struggling. It had $5,000 in its account, $50,000 in debt. I was the only staff. And by the time I left this organization in January of 2025, from being burnout, and what Anna did today is very credible. But when I left that organization in January 2025, I left it with a $1.9 million budget with no debt. So I turned that organization around. I intend to bring that same commitment, that same dedication, that same experience to the state treasurer's office. I intend to focus on several key issues that would advance our community. One is being that independent fiscal watchdog. 2, returning unclaimed monies back to each and every single one of you. 3, working to ensure that we're investing in the local communities, such as fixing roads, helping provide short low interest rates for our local communities. 4, investing in our schools and funding our schools. And 5, working with our partners to expand financial literacy education, to work on addressing the affordability crisis, to address housing, to address childcare, to address healthcare as well. I intend on using that position as a state treasurer to address and ensure that we're progressing our community. Now, being someone who worked in a nonprofit where I was the only staff for a long time, I am not a stranger to working and getting down to work. I'm ready to work on day one, and I hope each and every single one of you will consider me to be your state treasurer, and it will be an honor of a lifetime to be your state treasurer. And it is only in America and in Wisconsin where a Hmong refugee child has the ability to become the state treasurer. So thank you each of you for your opportunity.